So who would you be if you knew that you could not fail? Part 2. Last Sunday, I began our time together by sharing with you a number of beautiful and moving quotes from some pretty powerful individuals, including Ralph Waldo Emerson, Jesus, our religious science founder Ernest Holmes, Joseph Campbell, and even Walt Disney, who is one of my personal favorites. All of the statements were about the truth of who we are and the inherent power in choosing to be who we came here to be, in choosing to live our dreams. 2 of those quotes will be the foundation for our time this morning as we explore who would you be if you knew you could not fail, part 2. But before we delve into that juicy topic, I want to review just a little about the principles that we teach here at the Center for Spiritual Living, because we had some questions last week and it got me thinking about this. So I want to give you just a moment of Science of Mind highlights. And here are our 3 fundamental tenets. First, God is all there is. One presence, one power, only one, not 2, not God and something, only God. This is represented by the circle that is shown in our teaching symbol. Okay? Second, God has 3 aspects or modes of being: spirit, the divine intelligence, and love that is creator of all. That's the top part right there. Then what we call law, which is an automatic responder to spirit. It only says yes to whatever spirit plants in it. Have you ever heard someone say the universe always says yes? Well, that's the part of God that always says yes. Okay, that's that middle part. And finally, manifestation or form, the result of spirit planting a divine idea in the law. We are each, that's the bottom part there, body, form, effect, conditions, human experience. We are each an incarnation, a manifestation, an emanation of the one God. Or said another way, we are one with God. Or said another way, God lives and moves and has his or her being as me and as you. So these 3 aspects of God are represented by the 3 sections. And third, the V represents the ongoing process, the creative process, the ongoing process of creation. In fact, we do call it the divine creative process. That's spirit coming dead, the descent of spirit and creating. That's how God creates in the macrocosm, and that's how we create in the microcosm of our world. So there's your Science of Mind overview for this morning. And now I want you to experience a little Science of Mind love and light, CSL Modesto style, by turning to someone near you right now and say, "Thank you for sharing your beautiful God self with us today." Thank you for sharing your beautiful God self with us today. And now say, "I am glad we're here together."
I am glad we're here together.
And this is going to be good.
This is going to be good.
All right. So if you don't know who it is you're talking to, please introduce yourself quickly.
I am your husband.
That's who you are.
Oh, we've been wondering.
You didn't know. Is it? Oh, I've been doing that.
Okay. Each week this month, it is our intention to share the love within the walls of the Center for Spiritual Living, Modesto. To emanate the light of our individual hearts and to explore the spiritual truth that we are simply here to let God be God in us. So now, picking up where we concluded last week, today we're continuing exploring who we are in God and who we might be in this world if we knew that we could not fail. And we return to 2 of my favorite quotes from last week that will serve as our foundation this morning. The first is from New Thought Father Ralph Waldo Emerson. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. The second is from the Science of Mind founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, from his book, It's Up to You, which is, "No one has ever tried and failed in a conscious cooperation with the universe itself." So let's make those a little more personal. What lies behind you and what lies before you are tiny matters compared to what lies within you. And you cannot try and fail when you are in a conscious cooperation with the universe itself. So, okay, let's make them really personal. Repeat after me, if you will. What lies behind me
What lies behind me,
and what lies before me
what lies before me,
are tiny matters
are tiny matters
compared to what lies within me.
compared to what lies within me.
And I cannot try and fail
I cannot try and fail.
when I am in conscious cooperation
I am in conscious cooperation
with the universe itself.
with the universe itself.
Oh, those are pretty powerful statements, aren't they? Yeah. So let's dig into them, each one of them a little bit. First, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Something happens to us, to the way we begin to think, to the way we view the world, to the way we respond, to the way we speak, to the way we act when we've lived with this idea for a while. When we begin to live from the idea that what lies behind us, which is our history or her story, right? And what lies before us, which is our future thrills or victory or agonies or of defeat, are tiny, tiny matters compared to what lies within us. The power of life itself. When we really begin to live from that place, yes, we begin to show up differently, don't we? Because there is only power in the present moment, in the now. Right now is your moment of power. Right now. Put your thoughts right now on the power of the one who gives you life. We don't even have enough power to give ourselves one breath, but there is a power within us that does. This power is life itself. This power is God. This power is spirit. And there is nothing, nothing, nothing we can do to diminish it or to destroy it. I love the words from Ernest Holmes in Living the Science of Mind. He says, "Therefore we say that the river of life is forever flowing through us. It appears that we have the ability, at least temporarily, to pollute the stream of life with the consciousness of hate, despair, or any negative thought which denies its purity. But of course we do not really have the power to destroy, only to mold and remold. It is fortunate indeed that this is true, for in spite of all of our misdirection, we are still being carried forward on the bosom of this infinite stream to a harbor of perfect safety. We may rest in absolute assurance that good will be the final goal of all things. We can hasten the advent of this good by definitely clarifying our thought and by daily meditating upon the invisible source, the wellspring of life within us." And so I ask the question of the morning, who would you be if you knew you could not fail? If you knew that good will be the final goal of all things? Would you be the one who embraces life, celebrates it, and absolutely lives fully in this day? Would you begin to feel on a cellular level that things are unfolding exactly in the way they should, at the rate and timing they need to? Would you start to trust the process and stop trying to push the river? Have you ever tried to push a river? It doesn't work real well, does it? Would you, on a deep and fundamental level, just go, relax, not from a defeated perspective, but from a place of complete and total assurance that all is well? You would, wouldn't you? Yeah. And then you would sit in bemused curiosity, eager to witness the next miracle in your life, detached from what it is or when it comes, yet knowing it is bound to happen because they always do. You would feel spacious, receptive, and open to what is wanting to birth forth from you next. Resting in the knowledge that God is your source, you wouldn't cling to any one plan or perceived outcome, but rather you would realize that all is working towards your highest good. And so you patiently wait for the indicators and the right timing rather than ripping open the cocoon prematurely. I'll get to more on that a little later. You trust that any delay is absolutely perfect. This is who you would be if you knew you could not fail. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? You are the pretty amazing ones. I received this recent note from the universe, which also fits beautifully here. Remember, this is the universe speaking to you. To be all I could be, I had to be you, and you had to be amazing. And amazing had to be redefined. Happily, it's all working out perfectly. The universe. So that's the note from the universe to you as well. And so say with me again, what lies behind me and what lies before me are tiny matters compared to what lies within me. And what lies within me is amazing. So second, and then let's add, say after me please, I cannot try and fail when I am in a conscious cooperation with the universe itself. Conscious cooperation with the universe itself means realizing all those things I just said. Conscious cooperation with the universe itself means that we realize that we might, what we might perceive as failure is really just a necessary step in the process of being who we came here to be. In fact, the perceived failure, the perceived struggle may be exactly what is required for us to become who we came here to be. Who would you be if you knew this? Nikos Kazantzakis, that's a name that's fun to pronounce, he's the author of Zorba the Greek, told a really touching story in his autobiography, Report of Greco. This story is often seen in various forms, but it is also unattributed and paraphrased. Here's what this master writer really wrote. And of course, this was translated from Greek, but I did not do the translation. He wrote, I remembered one morning when I discovered a cocoon on the bark of a tree, just as a butterfly was making a hole in its case and preparing to come out. I waited a while, but it was too long appearing, and I was impatient. I bent over and breathed on it to warm it. I warmed it as quickly as I could, and the miracle began to happen before my eyes, faster than life. The case opened, and the butterfly started slowly crawling out, and I shall never forget my horror when I saw how its wings were folded back and crumpled. The wretched butterfly tried with its whole trembling body to unfold them. Bending over it, I tried to help it with my breath. In vain. It needed to be hatched out patiently, and the unfolding of its wings should be a gradual process in the sun. Now it was too late. My breath had forced the butterfly to appear all crumpled before its time. I struggled desperately, and a few seconds later, died in the palm of my hand. The little body is, I do believe, the greatest weight I have on my conscience, for I realize today that it is a mortal sin to violate the great laws of nature. We should not hurry, we should not be impatient, but we should confidently obey the eternal rhythm. As butterflies emerge from the cocoon, it presses and strains, which pumps fluid from its large body into the wings. This process strengthens the wings and shrinks the body. Without that struggle, the butterfly emerges with weak wings and an unwieldy body and cannot survive. This is our process in life as well. We emerge from a chrysalis state to become our real divine selves. There may be what seems to be a struggle. There may appear to be failures. Yet the more we continue through them with the realization that we cannot try and fail when we are in conscious cooperation with the universe itself, the greater the reward. For us, it's not a single experience. We emerge over and over again, growing into new ways of being, exploring one and then trying another until we find the right fit. Kind of like Cinderella a little, right? No one can open our cocoon for us because it is through the effort that we develop the strength to fly free. You may head so far in one direction that you feel there's no way back, but there is always a way. Because when your internal compass is set on your dream, God always makes a way where there appears to be no way. I want to bring our time to a close by a series of beautiful statements from Diane Harmony's book, 5 Gifts for the Abundant Life. It asks and answers the question, what does it mean to dream? To dream is to open yourself to the thoughts of God. To dream is to become consciously aware of the desires of God that want to come through you. To dream is to choose one thought and say yes to it. To dream is to surrender into the mind of your heart, where the invisible divine idea can find fertile soil to grow and become no matter what the external circumstances. To dream is to step beyond what is to what can be. To dream is to dance in the realm of all possibilities, to step outside the box, to try on, to stretch and grow, to choose to be the vehicle of holy manifestation. Let us, each one of us, become vehicles of holy manifestation by realizing the truth. And the truth is that we really, honestly, cannot fail because we have the power of the universe behind us, before us, and most importantly, within us. And so it is.
So